We're Malin and Johan, a Swedish couple that have been sailing full-time since 2016. After 3.5 years of sailing, we welcomed our daughter Vera on board. Most recently, we bought a farm in Sweden where we are going to build our dream boat ourselves from scratch. Welcome aboard and please subscribe for weekly episodes.
Today looks to be a good day to fix the leaky roof we have on the barn. The weather forecast is promising sunny skies, no rain and little wind. So I'm on my way to pick up a sky lift so I can reach that part of the roof where the cracked panels are. I hope we can manage to do it in one day today. But maybe we have to work tomorrow as well. We just have to see. I don't know how hard it will be to get those panels off.
Uh-oh. It's not easy to get to our farm. This last little hill makes it difficult. Okay, we do. He's giving it another try. Kom igen! Nej. On the 5th try, he made it. Is it fun?
Yeah, quite fun. It moves a lot up here. So here we have the problem, the cracked panels. So I'm going to replace this one and the one over here. This is really where the leaks are. There are some other cracked panels. You see there's one up there. So if we have time, we will replace those as well. But this one and that one is the main goal for today. As you can see, these sheets are made from asbestos, or there's asbestos in them. So we need to take care not to crack them so we get the dust in the air. And of course I will use breathing protection and a full suit just to be sure. But if we're careful, it's really no problem. The municipality has a special place where you can throw hazardous material like this. So after we have taken them down, we'll take the broken panels and deposit them in the correct way. It moves quite a lot, as you can see. It can take 200 kilos fully extended. And it's not fully extended now. It goes 18 meters up or 18.3. And I don't know exactly how far out you can go, but there is a security system in this machine preventing you from doing anything stupid. Well, this lift can really get you pretty far up in the air. Right now we're almost at 19 meters. Whoa! It moves a lot up here. What a view! I think I have found a perfect day for this. It's really no wind at all and quite warm actually in the sun. So, but I guess it's time to start working now. Stop playing. It's not the same color, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It is the same color, but they're not used. So.
Johan replaced 6 sheets, and for the cracks he used a sort of rubber compound.
Heja pappa, hej!
What a view! Det är helt vindstilla. We're packing up the crane, going to drive back and leave it at the place where we rented from. But you can see the roof. Maybe it's not the best looking roof, it's like a little patchwork, but it doesn't leak anymore, and that's the most important. But it feels great that you have managed to do this in one single day, and that the barn is now dry. Right now we have so many cranes around the farm. They are so big and have the funniest walk and sound.
They're so big.
It's like a trumpet.
Yeah. So it's time to start building the stem of the boat.
The stem is the curved edge stretching from the keel below up to the gunwale of the boat. It's part of the physical structure of a wooden boat or ship that gives it strength at the critical section of the structure, bringing together the port and starboard side planks of the hull.
And we have decided to produce it from oak. And when we bought all this timber, there was quite a lot of oak included in that. The only problem now is that all that oak is sitting beneath this teak, with this teak on top of it. So I need to move that first to have a look on the oak. Yeah, wow, that was a lot of work. Those teak planks are some really heavy stuff. And also in the middle of the stack I found 2 3-inch oak planks that could be really nice to use for the stem, but I think I have decided I will use these planks down here instead. They're a bit more in a more movable size, so it will be easier when you're working alone. And also I will glue the stem piece up from multiple pieces and in 2 layers, I'm thinking, to make it a bit more dimensional stable. But I have to have a look at the grain on these planks before I make a decision on that. But it looks pretty good, good quality oak. Also in those 3-inch planks, really nice stuff. But we might use that for some other pieces for the hull later on.
First off, the 6 oak planks need to go through the jointer to get flat. And then through the planer. Johan glues together the planks 2 and 2 with epoxy. Now they will cure overnight.
So it's early morning here in the barn. It's time for the next step in the build of the stem. All these 3 pieces are now planed to the correct thickness of 40 millimeters. Later on I will glue these 3 pieces together so they will form a piece that is 120 millimeters thick. The next step now is to put some shaper tape on these so I can use our handheld CNC router on these pieces. Then I will transfer the cutting files to cut the actual form of the stem. I have 2 cutting files, one for the aft piece and one for the front piece. So I will use the aft cutting file for 2 of the pieces and then the front cutting file for on this piece, a bit smaller. And then I'll glue the whole package together and do the beveling on the sides by hand. There will be some waste on these pieces, but I thought it was worth doing it this way since the form will be really accurate if I do it with the CNC router. And also I think I can use those scrap pieces to make the connection between this part of the stem and the part that will run along the bottom of the hull. So first I do a new scan of this workpiece. So you really just move the tool along the workpiece and the camera on it will photograph the surface and the dominant tape here. And with the help of that tape it knows exactly where it is on the workpiece.
Time to cut. Johan only cuts halfway through the plank with the CNC router, and then he do the rest as a rough cut with a jigsaw.
So I will use this flush trim bit to remove the rest of the wood up here. Makes the job a little bit faster than to cut all the way through with the Shaper Origin, because then I need to do around 4 passes. And I don't even know if I can go this deep with the router bit that I have in that machine right now. This is an easy way to do it. This roller bearing will go against the edge here that I have, the cut that I did with the Shaper, and should make this job pretty fast.
Johan does the same thing on the 2 other pieces.
So all the 3 pieces are now cut into shape, except the top one here. As you can see, the front cutting file, I just made a shallow pass with the machine for that. Just to have an aim when I'm doing the beveling on this piece later on. So the next step now is to glue this whole package together, and then tomorrow, once it's cured, I will try to get it in shape on the sides here.
He's using epoxy to glue the 3 pieces together. The screws are to make sure the pieces won't slide.
So it's been 24 hours now, almost, and I'm releasing the clamps now. One good thing with epoxy is that you don't need a lot of clamping pressure when you're gluing things up with it. So just to give you a perspective on how big this piece is, like I said before, this will be the actual bow of the boat, or not the actual bow, but the bow that will collect or gather all the strips on the hull. And then on top of this, on this side, there will be a rounded cone, also made from wood later on, but there will be a notch on that where the planks will meet up against that. But the glue up turned out really good. Now I'm just hoping that I won't do a mistake when I'm beveling the sides on this. But that will be for next week's episode, I think.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our videos, we would be so happy if you joined our Patreon crew. See you next week.